now John Bolton, former National Security Advisor and U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. Sir, good to talk to you as always, and thanks for your time. I want to start with Iran and what the president said as he departed the Middle East, headed back to the U.S. He says they have a proposal. More importantly, they know they have to move quickly. Something bad is going to happen. You've been a strong critic of a nuclear deal with Iran. What concerns you most about their nuclear capability at this point?
Well, we don't know exactly what the terms of the deal are that have been discussed. There have been reports about it, and they sound a lot like version 2.0 of Obama's 2015 nuclear deal, which would be a huge mistake if Trump entered into. I think the Iranians are desperate to buy time. Their terrorist proxies have been pummeled by Israel. The Assad regime has fallen. Iran itself has seen its ballistic missile production facilities destroyed by Israel last October. They want protection from an Israeli strike against their nuclear program. And I think they believe that if they can drag out negotiations with the U.S., that they can achieve that. We don't know exactly where Iran is because the critical weaponization capability, that's to say taking the enriched uranium and making it into a nuclear warhead, have never been inspected by any international agency or any inspection at all, really, outside of the Iranian military, and they could be very close. So this is not, is the term of the deal $400 million or $410 million? This is a huge threat to the entire world if Iran gets a deliverable nuclear weapon.
The president met with the Qataris. He met with the leaders in Saudi Arabia. He was also in the United Arab Emirates. How do those relationships strengthen America in the Middle East and the president's power, and also impact Iran's leverage?
Well, these are three of the Gulf monarchies that form part of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Bahrain, Kuwait, and Oman are the other three. These are the six oil-producing nations on the Arab side of the Gulf. And preserving unity among those six countries against Iran is important. They see the Iranian threat very much the same way Israel does. They view the nuclear threat as pointed at them, as well as the Iranian-backed terrorists in the region, such as the Houthis in Yemen and Saudi Arabia and the UAE's backyard. So I think this is what Trump did effectively was a continuation of really 35 years of U.S. efforts, beginning with Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait in 1990, to form close ties with all the Gulf oil-producing countries for both political and obvious economic reasons.
Fair to say that the president is disappointed that the war continues between Ukraine and Russia. He indicated that he is willing and may be talking to Putin. What is the expectation, time-wise, to get a ceasefire done and get this war over?
Well, Trump and the Europeans have been trying to get ceasefire talks going for over a month now. It hasn't happened. But I think Trump yesterday gave Putin exactly what he wanted. He said, nothing's going to happen until Putin and I sit down together. That's precisely what Putin wants. He wants to deal with Trump alone, perhaps. They'll meet only with interpreters. But certainly that pesky Volodymyr Zelensky won't be in the room when they talk, and neither will any of those pesky Europeans that the Russians don't want to have to talk to. Putin thinks he can get what he wants out of Trump. No guarantee he'll succeed, of course, but now he's got exactly what he's been aiming for.
And what is the risk in that if Ukraine and also other European nations are not part of that discussion?
Well, the risk is that Trump doesn't know the history, doesn't know the strategic significance, doesn't know what's really critical going forward. He's already made major concessions to Russia even before negotiations begin. And former KGB officer that Putin is, he thinks he can manipulate Trump into giving him even more.
Finally, I want to get your thoughts on Israel. The president did not make a stop there. What message does that send to Netanyahu?
Well, I think it should be concerning to the Israelis. In his first term, when Trump took his first trip outside the U.S., was to the Middle East as well, Saudi Arabia and others, but he also included Israel on that trip. Now, in fairness, he's seen Bibi Netanyahu in the White House twice since his inauguration. He may not have felt it was necessary. I wouldn't be surprised if Prime Minister Netanyahu visits the United States within a week or two to try and pin down exactly where things stand and to help him make the decision that Israel alone might make, whether he's going to strike Iran's nuclear program, whether there are negotiations going on between the U.S. and Iran or not.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.